St. Lucie County has the answers to the summertime blues. Find out what they are next on Inside St. Lucie. Hello and welcome to this edition of Inside St. Lucie, SLCTV's monthly government affairs show. I'm your host Eric Gill, Communications Division Director for St. Lucie County. And on today's show, we're going to be covering options to keep your kids busy this summer with my guests, St. Lucie County Commission Vice Chair Linda Bartz, Adam Jones with St. Lucie County's Aquatics Division, and Alicia Bell with the St. Lucie County Library System. But before we meet our guests, here's some upcoming events and announcements from the Board of County Commissioners.
There are still a few spots available for the Oxbow Summer Camp running June through August. With new and returning camps focused on the environment, technology, and the arts, there are both full and half-day sessions for students ranging from 6 to 16. For a complete schedule, visit theoxboweco.com or call 772-785-5833. St. Lucie County pools are opening for the summer season. The county operates 3 pools, the Ravenswood Pool in Port St. Lucie, Lakewood Park Pool in Fort Pierce, and the Lincoln Park Pool in Fort Pierce. For details about operating hours, prices, and programming, including swim lessons, visit stlucieco.gov/aquatics. The St. Lucie Mets summer season is in full swing at First Data Field, located at 527 Northwest Peacock Boulevard in Port St. Lucie. Games are underway through early September. Don't miss fun promotional nights such as Ladies Night, Bark in the Park, and Dollar Nights. For tickets, call 772-871-2115 or visit stluciemets.com. Join us in the studio for Covering the Bases with the Mets on the third Monday of each month at noon. Featuring the St. Lucie County Chamber and the Mets, you can be part of the live studio audience on the corner of Virginia Avenue and 25th Street and learn more about the important work nonprofits are doing right here in St. Lucie County. Coffee with the Chair, hosted by the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce, is held on the fourth Friday of each month in the SLCTV studios in the County Administration Complex on the old Civic Center side, 2300 Virginia Avenue, Fort Pierce. Be sure to stop in for a hot cup of coffee and hear the latest news from the Chamber and the County. A reminder that the Board of County Commissioner meetings are held at 6 p.m. on the first Tuesday and at 9 a.m. on the third Tuesday in the Commission Chambers of the Roger Poitras Administration Annex, 2300 Virginia Avenue, Fort Pierce. The Board typically holds an informal meeting on the second Tuesday at 9 a.m. in Conference Room 3.
Now for the latest updates about all St. Lucie County Commission meetings, workshops, and events, be sure to visit our website at stlucieco.gov and click on our comprehensive calendar. And if you'd like to be added to our press release distribution list, send us an email at slctv@stlucieco.org. We'll be happy to include you. We also hope you'll follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to take a quick break, but before we do, we're going to check in with the latest economic development stats with another St. Lucie Works.
Bed tax revenues set another high water mark for collections. St. Lucie County's bed tax rose 11% in March compared to the previous year. This marks the 12th month in a row that the bed tax has shown an increase, with March 2008 setting a new all-time record in collections. Overall building activity increased significantly in March, jumping by 42% compared to February, with more than 1,200 permits submitted. Revenue for that time frame increased by nearly 49%. The housing market continues to show promise. According to the Florida Realtors Association, the average median home sale price in March was just over $220,000, up 6% from last year, while condos increased in value by 11% with the median price at roughly $194,000. St. Lucie County's unemployment rate dropped slightly in March from 4.6% compared to February's 4.7% and down from last March's 5%. Statewide, the unemployment rate remained the same at 3.9%. There were more than 2,000 jobs on the Treasure Coast compared to last year, with the largest gains in leisure and hospitality with 900, education and health services with 600, and retail with 500. If you work for a local business looking for skilled or trained labor, be sure to contact the staff at Career Source as they can assist your company with its recruitment and training needs. And if you're an individual looking for a new job, they can help you as well. Visit the Career Source online at careersourcerc.com or call 1-855-4U-2-HIRE.
back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm joined by St. Lucie County Commission Vice Chair Linda Bartz. Commissioner, thank you for joining
Eric,
me.
good to be here.
And Alicia Bell, Program Specialist with St. Lucie County Library System.
Hi, how are
I
you?
got your title right, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
I mainly know you as doing children's programs at the
Yes.
library.
That would be me.
How long have you been with the library system?
11 years
11
almost.
years?
Yep.
Wow, that's a lot of kids.
It's a lot
I'm
of kids.
sure you've seen them growing up through the years.
Oh, it's kind of scary. I feel old some days. Yeah.
Don't
But it's
we
nice
all?
to see them grown up and still reading.
Yeah. Speaking of reading, summertime's here and the county's kicked off their summer reading program.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that for those at home. This year, you've gotten 2 new categories, right? 2 new age groups?
Yes, we're incorporating some pre-early literacy components. So anyone birth through senior, 12th grade, can participate this year. And for the younger children, it's doing activities with family up into reading multiple books, multiple hours. We should have a good turnout this year. We're looking forward to it.
And everybody that participates, you get a log. There's a reading log. They're available. All the branches are online
Yes,
as well.
they each have, yes, they'll be able to print offline.
Yeah. And those that complete the challenge get entered to win a Kindle Fire. And there's one for each branch library.
All 7, which includes Pruitt out in St. Lucie West, and yep, grand prize winners at each branch.
Now, Commissioner,
should
do
be
you
nice.
have one of those fancy electronic reading devices, or do you still do the books?
You know, I do both.
Yeah.
I do both. First Kindle I got, a wonderful gift until the little one took it and said, "Grandma, look," and smashed it to the floor. But we now have a Fire, and
Okay.
we read. But with her, we read the old-fashioned books.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, we read at home. I don't read off the Kindle with her at all.
Okay.
We like the pictures. We like the interaction. You know, lately it has been "Don't let the pigeon drive my
One of
bus."
my favorites.
And
Is that the
you know,
pigeon and the skateboard too?
Oh, well,
there-
he's got
yes,
a bunch of them. Yes.
That's
I remember the
another
pigeon
one.
and the skateboard.
But she screams it
loves
out.
it.
"Don't let the pigeon drive the bus." So it's been a lot of fun to go back through that again and see the different books and the interests.
That's wonderful. Yes.
Alicia, speaking of little ones, even the library had rolled out some tablets for kids. What was that, last summer, the year summer before?
Yes, the launch pads.
Launch
yes,
pads, yeah,
and they've
so-
been pretty popular. Yeah.
So that could count toward reading time too for the little ones?
It could be, on a Kindle. It can be actual books. For the older kids, graphic novels, magazines, audiobooks. It all counts as reading participation.
And for the older kids, is it 16 books
the
or 16
teens,
hours?
grade 6 to 12, it's 16 or 16.
Middle
16
and
hour-
elementary school,
It's 12, either the 12 activities or 12 hours or 12 books. Yes.
And then at the end of the year, end of the summer, we're going to have St. Lucie Reading Night at First Data Field.
August 3rd.
Tentatively, I've been told, because they were worried about rain, or is that
Oh,
finalized?
okay. Then let's say tentatively.
Oh, yeah.
We know with
In
the rain.
August,
yes. And
With
it'll
with
be.
all the rain we've been having lately.
Yes. Well, it's rainy season.
Yes.
It is. It is.
But they
It'll
get,
be a family night.
everybody that finishes the log gets tickets to the Mets game?
Yes. Yes. And they can wear their reading medals for the event, and there should be some fun activities for the kids.
We should have a reading challenge for adults, too. What do you think, Commissioner?
I'm good with that. I love to read. I think it's great. You know, I think starting them at an early age
Yes.
is incredible. And they learn that they can go places that they may never see, or one day they may see, and their imaginations just take them away.
Yeah. And you've been you're a member, current member of the library board?
I am Friends of the Library and also on the Law Library
Okay.
Board of Trustees.
Speaking of the law library, I found it was interesting. One of the librarians told me that the new Rupert J. Smith Law Library used to be where they used to lock up criminals at the Port St. Lucie Police Substation. Just a little fun fact. So
Wow.
when you're doing your research there at the law library, there at the new Paula Lewis Library, it was actually where people used to be locked up.
Yes. Well, only
Or at least
because-
temporary, yeah.
Yeah, I knew
It wasn't
that
a permanent
location.
jail. Yes, you were a city council.
But it was holding cells.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fun fact.
There's a couple of fun facts.
About that
I
building.
think that there was a young man who tried to hold up.
We were talking about that right
That's-
before we started shooting. Mike was mentioning
Yes.
that when we were.
And if I remember right, he had an ankle monitor on him at the time. So,
Darwin Awards.
You
Darwin
know-
Award winner. Yeah.
Takes all kinds.
It does. We'll get back to the libraries. Alicia, in addition to the Summer Reading Challenge, they also have special programs. There's story times almost every day of the week
Yep.
that the libraries are open anyway, Monday or Tuesday through Saturdays.
Actually, no, Monday through Saturday this year.
Oh,
Pruitt campus
that's
will
right.
be doing their first summer reading with the story time, and they'll be doing Monday, and then the other 6 branches will be Tuesday through Saturday.
And there's a hands-on science lab. I know they've made goop and other fun
Yeah,
stuff.
it's gonna be
Just
fun
don't
this
bring
year.
That to my house.
Mine either.
We'll keep it at the library,
No
but
slime, no goop.
Yes, no slime, no goop. But there's also I know the Oxbow staff comes and does a presentation, and Hope Sound Wildlife
Yep, they'll be
Center has
coming out.
brought in real live wildlife.
that's
into-
always a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have 8 performances coming in this year. Oxbow, Hobe Sound, we have a couple other performers, and then we have a bunch of staff doing some in-house performances, so that should be fun.
Dewey and the Decibel Sisters.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what that is.
They've done everybody's done a lot of work. They should be fun. I get to step back and watch them this year, so that should be fun. Do something a little different. They'll still be doing the dance party and some other stuff, but I think it's 8 weeks of that, so that should keep the kids busy.
And all those programs are free to
Free to the
everyone.
public, yes.
And
All ages.
All ages.
Yes.
Some of them do fill up quicker than others.
Yes,
Due to space
just to
limitations.
keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so get there early.
Yes.
Don't get caught in these afternoon thunderstorms.
Ooh, that's always fun. Yes, if you're walking, good luck.
Nicholas, you brought your little one out? Your
I have.
granddaughter? Yeah.
I have. So she loves it. She still has a little issue with having to take a book back
Yeah.
because they gave it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
So even now, she doesn't quite understand that concept. So
The due date's not
sometimes-
stamped on the back anymore like it used to be.
you know, she just, that's a love of hers.
Yeah.
So if you give her a book, you better figure that it's never coming back to you. So we have to make little arrangements like, oh, gee, I think Papa put it in the attic.
Or just explain to her, you take it back and get this one
Get
out.
a different
and,
one.
You know, again.
But once she falls in
no.
love with that pigeon, just, yeah.
So, but the enormity to be able to provide this to the youth, it's, number one, it's great for the older teens. I know that I have a child who couldn't seem to get into reading and had a tough time. And about 6th grade, she found the Goosebump books.
Oh, yes.
And we
Very good.
had
Suddenly she was enjoying
we
it.
had, I don't know, 30, 40 of them.
Oh, they're still coming.
That she was reading. And again, it's that introduction. I have one who read from a very early age, another one not interested, and now reads Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So it is introducing them, keeping them aware, and eventually they find what means something to them.
Sure.
Because what you like and what I like may not be what Eric likes,
Right.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
Right.
And with the, you talking about your granddaughter that likes to keep her books. One of the when you finish the reading log, you do get a book to keep, right?
Halfway through, they can come in and get a book that they get to keep. Yes.
Yeah. So there is a take-home prize
Yes,
in
there
addition
is.
to the medal and the Mets
Yes.
tickets and the
Yes.
chance to
And
win.
we try to keep it the book concept. So
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that, and the fact that there is no cost is so beneficial to this community. And we have so many people that are struggling. And we do have wonderful things that we can offer to our families and our children at no cost.
And in fully air-conditioned buildings and free
Absolutely.
transit now, where the buses are free, so there's
Oh, that's
really no excuse why. I
Yes.
mean, most of the libraries are located there, and we have the bike share program too.
Absolutely.
For $1 an hour, you can rent a bike. So if it's not that far, if it's not raining, you can take a stand-up paddleboard. We should have a paddleboard rental. Some of the streets.
We'll take that under consideration.
Those are harder to track, probably. But is there anything else about the library's summer programs that you want to mention, Lisa, that we didn't get to mention?
I think we pretty much covered it all. We're just really excited about seeing, we see all ages throughout the school year, but getting them involved, especially some of the branches do a baby program, and I know the parents are looking forward to, doing these special activities. So I'm just excited about the kids reading and coming to the library and enjoying everything that we have to offer.
Yeah. The libraries are one of my family's favorite departments in the county, and my favorite because you all do such a great job of working with me and getting me the information, but you all have programming year-round for all ages to adults, to how to master your iPhone, to Google
Yes.
Docs. I mean,
Yes. Yes. So important.
even one-on-one training sessions for folks
Yes.
that need help. So you guys offer great services year-round, and I appreciate all that Susan and the rest of the staff do there.
Thank you.
Alicia, thank you for all you do as well
Thank
as
you.
the entire staff.
Yeah. All right, you're going to stick around, Commissioner? We'll talk about pools next.
I will.
All right.
Swimming pools,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yes.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and talk to your aquatic staff here at Tennessee. Welcome back to Inside St. Lucie. I'm your host, Eric Gill, and I'm joined once again by St. Lucie County Commission Vice Chair Linda Bartz. Commissioner, thanks so much for sticking around.
My pleasure.
And now we have Adam Jones, Aquatics Coordinator. I
Yes.
almost promoted you to supervisor again.
Perfect. That'd be fine.
But Adam, you've been with our Parks and Rec department now for,
Going on 2 years.
years,
now.
yeah.
Yep, 2 years.
and you oversee the pools. Now, for those that don't know, St. Lucie County has three public pools?
3 of them, yes. I oversee all 3 of them. One down in Port St. Lucie in Ravenswood, one here in Fort Pierce, right next to, I say right next, but across the street from the community center, and then also one up in the Lakewood Park area.
Which is almost Vero, that one's so far up
Yeah.
there. It's a Lakewood Park Regional Park.
We
But,
kind of lean on that line, but we love it, so
Yeah.
it's even better.
and primarily the pools are open from Memorial Day to Labor Day, although this year you had a soft opening for Ravenswood during spring break.
Yes, open for the week to kind of get the kinks out from the fall, and then get the pool going back again to see how things go. The weather always messes with us during that time because it gets cold, but we actually got a new heater, so it worked out well.
Yeah.
So
We did have a little cold snap there during spring
Yeah.
break. We ended up going to Orlando in Discovery Cove, and it was freezing. We had to wear wetsuits. But, and Commissioner, when you were Port St. Lucie councilwoman, you know, the cities didn't run pools, so that's probably a new thing that you had to get used to managing.
Yeah, but you know what? I used the pool.
You used the pools.
And when we first moved here, one of the first things we did was put our children in swimming lessons at Ravenswood.
Oh, nice.
So,
And that was when Ravenswood used to be open year-round.
yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, the weather, and you know what? When you move from up north, it doesn't matter. You may think it's cold.
It's cold for Floridians.
But we
yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Now
But
we do.
Now we do. Yes. Once you, after about 5 or 6 years, you start to. It's winter. I'm not going in the ocean, but not without a wetsuit anyway.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Let's talk. So your kids went through swim lessons,
My kids did go through
and your
swim
granddaughter
lessons.
too.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I have a pool. And so there is no way. And I did not have a pool when my kids were growing up.
Yeah.
However, we put one in, and there was just not a thought of not having swimming lessons right away.
Yeah.
We do have the screening up, and you know, we're very protective, and I've always had it closed, even when it was just my husband and I,
Sure.
just to be in that habit.
Yeah.
But again, things happen,
Yeah.
and we've all been here a long time and heard some of the horrific stories. So it is so important what you do, Adam. There's no way to put a number on the lives that you save.
I don't want to put a number on it.
Yeah.
I don't want
You know, I
Because
mean,
it's always the ones you don't that
Exactly.
sticks with you, right? I
But
mean, I
the
had friends that
fact-
were lifeguards in high school that, you know.
the fact is you save so many children.
Thank you.
And so many families. So what you do every day, there is no way to really put a price on that.
Hopefully we never do. And we at the aquatics department, it's a big department. We're stretched, well, I say thin, but we're stretched across the county, so we have a lot that we do, minus blowing the whistle, telling you not to run, but we make sure it's safe every day, and we jump into, once we get out of the season, which is this summer, we jump into the schools to teach about water safety then, start working on those partnerships that we have to build throughout the year to keep the swim lessons going, the lifeguard staff there, and keeping them safe, not just for St. Lucie County, but the whole county, I say. I don't get to mess with the ocean very much, but we do collaborate with them as well to keep their training up.
You have interactive water park, I guess. I don't know exactly
Splash
how
pad.
Yeah, we have the
Okay.
splash pad.
That's
the
what you
technical
call 'em.
term for
Yes.
it.
Okay.
Splash pad. Yeah, we have those at 2 locations. What's great this year is we are gracious enough to get approval this year to update the Lakewood location. So the project's not complete yet, but throughout the summer you might show up and there'll be a new piece, and then a few more weeks another new piece. But by the end of the summer, every piece will be changed out besides one, and it's just to freshen up and make it what we really need it to be. So
You're keeping that big mushroom umbrella, right?
yeah,
It
we're keeping the
rains.
big.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, we're keeping the big mushroom. We're going more of aquatic. I say aquatic, but an ocean theme. So I'm not going to spill the beans on any of it or give
You
it
have
away.
to come out.
You got to come
Check it
see
out.
it. One new feature we got last year, which is called the School of Fish. It's going to be out there opening weekend, which is Saturday. So it'll be there ready to go for everybody to see.
And Adam, you mentioned community partners. You recently came before the Board of County Commissioners with one of our community partners, WPSL. We keep calling them Christmas kids, but it's WPSL Radio.
Yes.
For the last 15 years, they've helped raise money to do free or to provide funding for swim lessons.
Yes, this year, well, starting last year, we actually get funding from Children's Services Council as well. They provide a big chunk of that funding. And then last year was kind of a unique partnership. The St. Lucie County Sheriff's Department came to me and said, hey, you have the facilities and we have some deputies that got trained. And I had to step back and get this whole look at it. And what it is the school resource unit that they have, 5 to 7 other deputies got trained last year to be water safety instructors to teach the swim lessons. So they had this idea of coming in and doing swim lessons with the kids. And I said, okay, well, how would you like to go about it? And they said, well, we just like to use your facility. We have the staff, of course. And I said, absolutely. Well, ever since then, I called a project and also a unique partnership, but it's just been building and building and building. This year, the Sheriff's Department will be at Ravenswood starting June 4th, and then be at Lincoln the last 2 weeks of June. But it's their own lessons. We just provide the space for them. And it's very nice because when you show up to the pool, you see all the police cruisers, everybody thinks something's going on, but they're there teaching swim lessons, and the kids know them from the school, so it's much better.
Yeah. And last year, we didn't have 2 summers ago, there were no drownings in St. Lucie, but last year we had 8 drownings in St. Lucie County.
There was 8. Yeah.
So the importance of, teaching your kids, like you said, Commissioner, even if you don't have children, but you have a pool, there's kids in the neighborhood.
Yes.
There's canals, there's rivers and streams, and, we're a peninsula for crying out
And
loud.
children will be children.
Yeah.
So you can think that they're always in your backyard where
Yeah.
you may not have a pool, but kids get curious. We have, you're right, lakes, retention ponds,
Yes. Yeah.
and kids are curious. And through no intent, they get into positions that are very difficult. And we're not always there. So what you're doing is helping those children. I have been fortunate. I sit on Children's Services Council, but some years ago, I sat on the Christmas Kids with WPSL. And one of the most important things that they did, because yes, they do the Christmas Kids,
Christmas
they
Kids.
do provide, but those swimming lessons are just so important.
We've had a community partner, was it Sunshine Laundry?
Yes.
Last year that also wrote a check and helped provide lessons?
Yeah, last year it was kind of unique. They called up, the owner of Sunshine Laundry called me up and introduced himself, and I was in the middle of the summer, so I was busy, and he's like, hey, I don't know if how this works, but he had a unique story when they do a conference or something up in Georgia, and he came back and told me his story and how it happened and why he was thinking about doing it. And I said, these are the steps we have to do. I have to take this in front of the board to make sure it's okay with them. And ever since then, he's wanting to do more and more, but we have to keep it within the lines of what we need to do. But this year, he stepped up again to do the same thing, and we'll go in front of the board June 4th to present that to them. And hopefully, throughout the whole season, everybody sees it.
Yeah.
Last year he saw what we did before, but he wants to do more, and hopefully we can get him to be a bigger partner, and also other businesses to be partners as well.
Yeah.
Because it makes a big impact. I mean, those kids, they don't understand that this business is paying for the lesson, but the parents are, thank you, because now I don't have to spend that money here. I can spend it getting the groceries we need, things like that.
Yeah, and it's important to have those lessons. I mean, you and I, Adam, talked before. I had a friend in college that was terrified to graduate because he didn't know how to swim, and at the university he went to, you had to take a pass, at least enough to tread water, and he made it eventually. But it's got to be terrifying for those that don't feel comfortable around the water. So the earlier you can start with your children, the better. And the pools, like you said, are open primarily Memorial Day to Labor Day, and
Yes.
we've got 3 available. They're a lot of activities. There's some back to the opening, kick off the summer pool programs. There's the world's largest swim lesson, which will all 3 pools be doing that again this year?
All 3 pools, it's a kind of a crazy idea, but all 3 pools at the same time will be doing the same exact lesson. So
With pools around the globe.
With pools around the globe. The world records is set by, they tell us what to do at this time, and it's all across the world. So it's a nice little blurb for Fort Pierce and St. Lucie County to be in that, because once we turn our numbers in, we go on that agenda for them. So it's very nice. They'll get to see us as we do it every year. So.
And it's a free event for those that come and register.
Yep, it's absolutely free.
Because one of the challenges as we get into summer is budget time, and we haven't gotten there yet, but I know it's coming up. And one of the things, both with libraries and pools, those are kind of those services that I always feel are essential services that government needs to provide, because if the private sector, it could make money, they would. So, the private sector doesn't offer those
Exactly.
services, so they're
Exactly.
essential to the budget.
So we take from the budget to cover those services, and we are lacking in other areas, roads being a major one. So as you know, we are in the process of asking our constituents to approve a half-cent sales tax.
For 10 years.
For 10 years, yes. It will sunset after 10 years. There is a list of projects.
$16 billion with a B.
Yes.
So.
And we are talking about St. Lucie County, Port St. Lucie, and the city of Fort Pierce. And we intend to have an oversight committee for each one of those entities to make sure that the money is spent the way that it's proposed to be spent. So when you do something like that, so we're able to take that out of the general fund, then we are able to help more
Correct.
with those other essential services.
For those that don't understand, in November, the half-cent sales tax, they'll have the chance to vote on it, but those funds can only be used to build things and create things. Roads, sidewalks, which is a big issue in Port St. Lucie, and then water quality projects. So all the rain we're having now to help store that storm water, move it, make sure it's clean before it's released in the Indian River Lagoon.
Absolutely.
And then, but like you said, that frees up funds that then we can use from the general fund to pay for other things, like maybe expanding pool hours or adding libraries, which we were lucky to do since you've come on board as a county commissioner.
But I will tell you that, we are struggling at times with the hours for the library and making sure we're open and accessible.
And having enough people to cover those hours.
Absolutely.
And same thing with pools. That's always a challenge every summer, hiring enough staff. And like you said, we want to make sure that it's safe for the public there.
Yes. Yeah.
Not just water, but
We do about 20. I say we do about 20. We do about 20 staff members. Bring them on board, get them fully trained, everything before the season starts. We're finishing up one class now, and we'll have a couple more coming in. But it's about 20, and that's not just me saying, "Hey, you're hired." That's going through
certification, background checks. Yeah.
Going through the process. I mean, the class is 40 hours long, and we have to fit that all in. So plus all the HR stuff that we just went over, but that takes a while, and the other staff understand it, but then the community understands it. Sometimes it does take a process, and the goal is by the time we start the 26th, we have all staff ready to go and planned.
And also need to remind residents too that if there are thunderstorms, which you often get, sometimes pools
Yes.
close early. So
Yes.
if you plan to drive, and while it may be not raining in the north end of the county, it might be raining in the south end of the county. So if you're going to the Ravenswood pool with friends, it's good to call ahead
Yep.
and check, or check the Doppler. And if there's chance of thunderstorms, we have the sirens, the lightning sirens, and when those sirens go off, you guys start clearing the pools out. So.
Yeah, if you drive by the pool and you see the yellow light blinking on top, that means the pool's closed. You can still stop by and ask, but that light's blinking for a reason. It's not just something we put up there. And I will tell you, it's a 3-mile radius on that, so if anything's within 3 miles, if it goes off, we have to follow the protocol. We clear the pool and it's closed. So.
Because worse than drownings, we don't want lightning strikes.
Yeah, we don't want lightning.
No, we want our people safe.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So they could always check the website is Cico. I'll let you
Yeah,
get it.
stluciecode.gov, and then up the top, things to do, pools and aquatics, and you're going to bring up all 3 pages. And then from there, you can go to the Ravenswood page.
And find the phone number to
Find the phone number, yep.
give a call before you head out, especially if
Yes.
it's raining like it's been.
Yep.
Commissioners, anything else we didn't get to mention before we wrap up?
Can I mention chili cook-off?
Yeah, absolutely.
July 14th, chili cook-off at the Fenn
At
Center.
the Fenn Center.
Guess who the chair is?
You?
It is me.
Look at that.
Very, very excited. Signing up teams, sponsors.
Well, the county will have
Just-
some teams.
Oh, the county is.
Will we have some vegetarian chili though?
The county is psyched. And they are so excited and being innovative.
What's the theme this year?
Cartoons.
Oh, I love cartoons.
Cartoons.
Can I go as
So-
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo?
You can go however you like, but we're really excited about it coming on. I've been involved with chili for many, many years. It is a fun event.
It is, and it's inside in the air conditioning.
It's inside. It's a family event. You can bring your kids in. There's raffles. There's just
Rock
all
painted,
kinds of
music. Yes,
Yes.
it's a fun time.
A lot of
Saturday,
fun.
July 14th
yes, sir.
at the Hayward Fenn Center. 2000 Virginia Avenue. We're 2300.
Yeah.
It's next door. Plenty of free parking. Great.
Plenty of parking. Plenty of parking.
Right.
So we're
Is it
very
still
excited.
There's still time to get a team in though. Right?
Absolutely.
We got the whole
Why,
month
you
of
looking
June?
forward to it?
No, I don't cook. I'll do the dishes. I'll clean all the pots and pans. That's the deal at our house. I do the cleaning. My wife does the cooking.
Oh, that's not a bad
If
deal.
it's my turn to cook, we get pizza. that's how we do it at
not
my
a
house.
bad,
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
All right.
But yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the time, Commissioner, for coming down
Thank
today.
you.
And Adam, thank you once again for
Thank
coming
you,
on.
sir.
Adam, thank you.
Yep,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
all you do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Before we do, we're going to check in with a new project update in the north part of the county.
St. Lucie County's Utilities Division is expanding its water lines north. Crews are currently installing 12-inch water mains along US 1 north from Indria Road to Turnpike Feeder Road and then down Turnpike Feeder Road back to Indria Road. Currently, the roughly 22 businesses and 30 residents that exist in this area have to rely on well water. But with the expansion of these utility lines, county officials expect to see many more undeveloped lots begin to build. Contractor Felix Engineers began installing 5.17 miles of water lines in April of 2018 with an estimated completion date of October 2018. This $2.5 million project is being funded through rate fees and charges to new users. Florida Atlantic University's Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute has already expressed a desire to tap into St. Lucie County's new water lines, and economic development staff all agree that the availability of both water and wastewater help recruit businesses to the area. As the Treasure Coast International Airport and Business Park continues to develop, St. Lucie County officials believe having access to municipal water and not relying on wells will be essential to adding economic growth in the northern area of the county. For additional information about this project, contact the St. Lucie County Utilities Division at 772-462-1150 or visit stlucieco.gov.
We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Inside St. Lucie, and we hope you'll tune in again next month. If you have topics or subjects you'd like to see covered here on the program relating to local government, give us a call at 772-462-1791 or send us an email at slctv@stlucieco.org. And if you'd like to see previously aired episodes of this or other SLC TV original programs, visit our YouTube page at youtube.com/stluciegov. We also hope you'll follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at St. Lucie Gov. I'm your host, Eric Gill. For myself and the staff, thanks for watching.